Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears of War Pro League. I'm Blaze, joined with a fantastic Colin, as me and him both are sharing our love for a player in specific. You know, one that you guys all see on your screen. You know, I didn't know if we were going to get it or not, but, you know, I didn't know what we were going to get, okay? I knew we were going to get something. I didn't know what we all just got, as it's myself, Colin, and Kenny Bounce.
I mean, when I get lost in life, I look at this picture. I say, Dad, where do I go from here, man? What do I do? And Dad has never steered me wrong yet, so that's why I just keep Dad up at all times. I make sure that you understand that he's always got my back. He's right over my shoulder. He's got my back. My man, my man's always there. And he's so goddamn handsome all the time. That's the other thing that hurts me about that picture. I don't know how he got to be that way. But
I don't know how it happens.
I love him. That's all.
You know, hey, but there you go, right? You know, Kenny always looking over your shoulder, letting you know the plays, you know, as he is watching the Pro League and, you know, getting ready to join us in the major, where we may be able to have a chance to cast up against him and his new squad. Who is looking good when we got a chance to see them, all right? And who they played. Very, very good team, and they're getting better week in and week out. But let's talk about the two teams on our screen. It's RushieZ and the Pioneers, and we got a chance to see both these squads play on E-Days, all right? Where it was RushieZ who showed up and showed out. It was a 3-1 victory, if I'm not mistaken, by them. And the one player who stood out to me the most during it all had to be INZEM and RushieZ, okay? You know, I'm always going to gas up RushieZ, all right? But, you know, rightfully so, because you look at this team on your screen, Colin, and they got all the pieces to the puzzle to win, but they don't got too many chances left to do it.
I really like, and I know it's probably not given that much credit or said that much often anymore, but the fact that RushieZ, Avexys, and DeTox, granted INZEM has had to come back and play with RushieZ, but that core three, I love how long they have stayed together. They have fought their way into a position to be a perennial powerhouse, a perennial team at the top of the leaderboards, at the top of our rankings, of our power rankings going into majors. I am at the point now where at the end of the day, I'm always going to be a fan. I will be a fan first. I have been made into a true blue through and through fan of Avexys. I want that man to be able to hoist a trophy. Probably, like, I know not as much as he does, but my God, it's getting close, because I just love the way he plays. I love his attitude, and I love his passion for this game, for this community, and I just... It's for me, it's like I need to see it pay off. I need to see that trophy above that man's head. I mean, plus, it wouldn't hurt to see RushieZ get one.
I echo everything, okay? I echo everything you said. The only thing I add to that is that I wish we were all able to see each other and do it on land, okay? Hell, you may get a new headshot from him. I think he got a beard now, too, as well. I think that whole thing come through, all right? Avexys, man, boy, he been putting that work over these last few years, all right? He got to get it in. You know, when you talk about his gameplay and Gears and what he brings to this team and how much of a vet he is, you know, he is a vet now, right? You know, we used to consider him like one of the newer guys coming out, but nah, man, you know, Avexys, he is a leader. He got the pieces around him, and we'll see if he can end this season off of Gears, this chapter of Gears off with a W for him and the squad. But they got to go up against the Pioneers. Now, you got Bronny, Xysho, Acells, and Hndles. And Colin, we talked about core threes. Let's talk a little bit about this one.
Well, we got a core 2 that was added a nuclear power core when they brought Xysho onto this roster, siding up with Acells and Hndles. Those 3 guys with precision along with them won a couple of tournaments, won a couple of big tournaments, set themselves apart from the competition. Precision, he went off over to the side. He went off to a different game. He wanted to find success elsewhere. Nobody can blame him for that. Nobody can be upset at him for that. They said, that's fine. Let's go find us another powerhouse. Let's go find us another big man in the middle that can take care of business. They pick up Bronny, and I was one of them. I blame myself. I look myself in the mirror every day, and I'm like, how foolish were you all last split saying, they ain't got it. Something's wrong. Bronny can't do it. I don't know. I don't think they can win enough. And I'm sitting there at the end of the grand finals like, my God, I ain't got enough brain cells to be mad at my brain for how dumb I was all split long.
You know, and, you know, for, you know, someone who sat here and doubted them and sat here and said, look at them. They lost their superpowers. Who brought out the kryptonite? All right. I was looking foolish as well, Colin. Okay, because they showed up and they showed out. And Bronny, he evolved when it was time. Okay, like you train for big events. Okay. And sometimes we put too much emphasis on the training and how the practice is and how consistent the practice is. And consistent is one thing, but how consistent the plays are coming through. At the end of the day, they put everything together when it was game time, and they came away with another chip, and they looked like a different squad. It was a different version of them, and they did it when they needed to. And I'm pretty sure they probably knew the whole time it was going to happen that way. So, hey, they kept it entertaining for sure. But we'll see if they can keep it consistent, continue to keep it consistent for the last two events. All right. Now, our key player matchup in this one. I'm excited to actually see who we're going to see in our key player matchup. It's DeTox and Acells, where so far in split 3, you got Acells leading, well, not leading, but at 10th in KDA at a 2.41, and damage per 10 minutes at 7th. But Colin, when it comes down to how you see these players, even numbers aside, how do you think this matchup is going to be?
Well, I look at it like this. These players kind of become a key player matchup because they fill similar roles for their squads. And I'm not talking about trying to be super slayers, trying to be guys that are taking the brunt of the damage. You see what happens when the Pioneers struggle a bit last split. Their struggles came when Acells was not popping off. Acells was having trouble getting those single kills, maybe winning those 1Vs, maybe even getting a little bit of help, winning a 2v1 with a little bit of Lancer fire. DeTox is the same way. When I came on a scene in Gears 4 so many years ago, it feels like I nicknamed DeTox the Tasmanian Devil. Every squad DeTox was on, if he started spinning up, if he started feeling himself and getting kill after kill, it was time to watch out. One of the things that I've been really impressed with is DeTox's ability to hit both the brake and the gas. I mean, my man got to have a clutch right now because of the way that he's been able to shift gears. Just last week, when they were playing on Harbor, INZEM had a big 2v1 where he was playing defensive for a while. DeTox had a 1v1 at the winch. DeTox was able to speed up his play quick enough to outmaneuver, get the kill at the winch, and then pump the brakes, turn back around, set up on winch with the Lancer to be able to add enough damage to where all INZEM had to hit were those kind of 40-50% spreads to get those downs. That's what DeTox is leveling out right now, and I really think that that's a good key player matchup because both of these guys, if they get hot, their teams are playing at their best, and when they struggle, their teams start to get a little lukewarm like they're on the back burner of a stove.
I agree with that, Kyle, and I'm happy you mentioned his his self-control to be able to chill out because DeTox is streaky. All right, when he starts streaking, it's hard to stop him, but knowing when to stop and not give up that momentum in a play, that takes experience and maturity, and he definitely has that skill set. Now, let's take a look at the maps in which both our squads are going to be playing on today. First, our bands. RushieZ says, get Spire out of here, and then you got the Knight saying, bye-bye to Control. Right off the start, Colin, how do you feel about those first two?
Pioneers, they understand their position against RushieZ on Regency. RushieZ is an extraordinarily, historically good Regency team, no matter what reiteration of that team you're going up against. They also take a look at Canals. They have seen the evolution of RushieZ on Canals, the way that they're able to control that map. I think what Pioneers did is win this pick and ban. I'm being completely honest with you. The Pioneers took away the 3 strongest maps of RushieZ's arsenal, whereas RushieZ, they get rid of Spire and Regency comes out. So now you got to deal with the Pioneers on District or Reactor or one of those CQC maps that you can really rotate on, help your teammates out with. On the opposite end of that, I look at RushieZ as saying, man, we got to hope that we can get an execution we like. And that looks like it's going to break down to basically Clock Tower. You're going to have to win a Clock Tower. You're going to have to win something like that. There's the CQC. There's the tomb that I know Pioneers wants. Pioneers wants that tomb. They need practice on it. They get it as map 2 against RushieZ. This situation to me, this is setting up scary for RushieZ because it looks like the Pioneers really took away the big maps that RushieZ likes to dominate on.
That's true, and I agree with that. They took away some of their favorites, but I took the complete opposite from RushieZ's bans. I took that from RushieZ saying, hey, let's take away some maps that we don't want to play on, that we don't want to deal with today, because we do have a big map pool at the end of the day, and even with the 5 that's here, you may took away, I say, about 2 of RushieZ's better maps out of that situation, but that mid-tier and top-tier out of this 5-game cycle, I think RushieZ still has this one still in a great position. And then I look at how it's stacked up. I may favor RushieZ towards the back end of this cycle more than the front end of it. But Tomb and Reactor Control, Avexys can have big maps on both of them, and they can go in favor of the RushieZ guys. So, hey, now that brings us down, you know, kind of towards predictions, because this is spicy. This truly is a spicy scenario. And, you know, Colin, as we can see, hey, your prediction is in. It's locked in. We know that you're gonna always go for the Pioneers.
I got bad news for everybody. Until you beat them in a major, until you take that championship away from them, I ain't picking against them ever again. I don't care how dumb it makes me. I don't care if I go over in predictions until the major, because then I'm going to pick them in the major, and on Sunday night around 9, 10 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to be sitting here going, man, I sure like that pick of mine. I sure like that enough, because they ain't failed me yet in majors. They ain't failed me yet.
They ain't failed you yet, bro. And I think that's good. I think that's good, my son. Okay, that you chose to go that way with it. All right. And you know, Kyle, there's a lot you still got to learn when it comes down to predictions here and there. And I know you want to go hard for NA and Pioneers and EU, but I don't think the Pioneer is going to come away with this one. I'm actually going to go RushieZ for this one, all right? And, you know, you're going to learn a valuable lesson here, all right? You know, as we saw your dad on screen earlier, you know, and who taught you the game, you know, he got a lot of lessons from people back in the day as well. But, you know, Pioneers, yeah, they look scary doing that major. They truly did. But, you know, this ain't the major, okay? We'll talk about the major when the major get here. This is Pro League. All right. And today, I think RushieZ is going to come away with this one. Reason being, INZEM, he has been playing better week in and week out, and he has not stopped since he's joined back in here in Gears. And from watching him in the last few weeks, he's been making those big impact plays that you expect of him, right? But the rest of the members of RushieZ, they've been getting that done on their own before he had got there. Avexys has become more consistent and rising into that leadership role. Also, RushieZ is one of the most composed players we got, and he always knows what the perfect play is for his team at any given time. I think RushieZ come out here with another perfect strategy. Let's not even talk about the coaches that they got either. So RushieZ is going to be my pick for the day. Now, chat, me and Colin, we tied again. All right? Now, Colin looking with a straight face like, can he shut up? No, right? I can't. I hear what you're saying, but it's still the Pioneers. Chat, break the tie for us. All right, who's winning? Pioneers or RushieZ? Okay, it's Pioneers. All right, hey, good points by all y'all. But we better load up Inspire, and we're gonna see how this gonna trickle down.
I mean, you're gonna have to win
Reactor.
when you roll out of spawn. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, whether it's on Spire or Reactor, you gotta roll out of spawn.
This is a downhill spiral for me or you. It's for one of us, okay? That's why I was thinking Spire.
You know why I had the number 5 up when we came back to camera? You know why I had the number 5 up, baby?
Because I'm 5-1 in predictions.
If it goes to map 5, my prediction's wrong.
Ah, okay. All right.
RushieZ is banking on getting to checkout. That's where they're looking. That's their hopes and dreams, is making it to map 5. Pioneers, they gotta win. They gotta win this 1 through 4. That's their path to victory, is 1 through 4. RushieZ's path to victory is in that final map. But starting on map number 1 here, I see DeTox with an early angle on to Hndles. Hndles is gonna throw that flash and try to keep him safe. He's gonna be in a 2v1. Hndles trying to get a little freaky. He gets one, and he's gonna get a little. He gonna go dinky,
little dinky, right?
Yes,
little dinky. Oh, INZEM says, chill out. Chill out, that's my bow. All right, RushieZ, they win the initial. That's 3 wiped off the map for the Pioneers. And now RushieZ, they'll get the shot grenade and they'll get the bow. It was Hndles was the only one off to a spicy start, but knowing him and knowing those comms, he's putting off some of that energy towards his teammates, and the second team fight gonna be interesting.
DeTox is here in the middle of the map. He drops the shock at the bottom of the feet there. Won't be able to get the kill or the damage on. Here comes Acells on a typical flank. You see INZEM with the torque bow. He has an angle here onto Acells. Revving it up, won't be able to get it to go, but RushieZ has been taken out by Bronny inside of the hill. Hill taken over by the Pioneers. They need maybe one more of these kills to be able to pressure out Bronny and take the torque bow away from him. They get the downs. They get INZEM as well and Avexys, so torque bow off the map. It'll be on respawn officially, but 28-29, almost down to that 10-second marker, and this first hill is over at 30-24.
Yeah, that was a scrappy first hill that we saw between both these teams, and you see the residual effects of Hndles. He'll get a 1v1 and some scrap time. and also protecting his team's flank. That was an important fight. He loses that, and then from there, you already are going to have RushieZ being annoying, putting some shots in. So instead, RushieZ is going to have to re-challenge this fight once again and put himself in that position. He's taking a wide angle. This is where Rise, they know they're not going to fight, but INZEM is just trying to soak up damage, but he don't want to play with fire. Because you're going to see, who was that in the corner? That's Bronny. He'll wrap shot that so quick. As you see, they start to move up. They say he's weak. He playing around with us. He ain't about that life. Push him out. We're getting flanked by 2 players. Let's take over. And Hndles is able to at least get 1. This turns into a 3v3, but the angle has been given up. Avexys, can he do enough damage? Yes, he can. This is where Rise has to press.
RushieZ has got to get on this first kill quick, fast, and in a hurry. INZEM, though, being tagged up, had to take a break. Big slide in there. We'll get the first kills by Xysho. Look at the retake, though, by RushieZ. Everybody getting kills inside of the hill. Xysho left the hill and tried to rotate around to get that final kill, but look at it. Hndles off the respawn. He's going to have to deal with the torque bow in front of him, I believe. But I think RushieZ is actually... He said discretion is the better part of valor. Let me get this torque bow over to next.
Yeah, he said, yeah, let me get on over. We won the first 2 fights on this game. Let's get this one. We won the first 2 hills of this map. Sorry. Now let's start focusing on the third. RushieZ has a few bows to his name. He'll connect there on Xysho. 3 left in the quiver. Now it's going to be Rise. So they're exactly where they want to be. Pioneers get the close respawn, but the entire 4-man Rise unit, they're going to play this together to try to get these kills before they move back in the hill. They already got a Lancer, but those nades were so clean from Acells. The bow's on the ground. A big shot from DeTox. He needs 1 more. He gets some help from his teammate. A quick cut back. Bronny gets another. Can't get a third. But look at the 2 players. It's Pioneers. They'll get into the hill, but they got to get back into this fight right away because RushieZ knows, based off the timing, they still have a leg up in this fight before help comes.
Really, right now, Acells is going to try to get 1 clean pick off the back cubby. He rotates straight out into the players of 2 of RushieZ. There's a revive. Xysho has to worry about in front of him. Goes for the react shot. Won't be able to get no kill. Shot over the top from DeTox. He's going to get downed. And I believe that is a 4-for-1 trade in favor of the Pioneers. Acells knows that DeTox is in the hill by himself. He said, those are not your points, sir. You do not get those.
Yeah, they say you do not get those whatsoever. And Acells had 2 fantastic nades. And to stay alive ever since the start of that team fight, he put his team in this position in which they're currently in. So, Pioneers, they win the first 3 hills. Now we're getting geared up for that P4. RushieZ, they're going to be at the... They're going to start rotating towards that 50-yard line. They got mid-map control as well. Getting some good shots in on the Acells. DeTox is going to start to back up. Now, will him and his team see this 3v2 to take it? DeTox can't move in right away. A quick revive. A chain has started. But the reaction from it all is looking like it's going to be the Pioneers in that power position as they're going to clean up all 3 kills.
Blaze, I just saw the scariest thing I think I have ever seen in this game when it comes to player confidence. Did you witness Acells just finish a full Lancer reload? He didn't hit the active. It was too long for an active. He just reloaded the Lancer in front of somebody's face and still got the kill, was able to switch to the Nasher and get the kill. At this point in the map, my big concern for RushieZ is I think RushieZ is almost favoring the power weapons too much.
And as you see, Hndles, he gets 2 nade kills, and the bow is still in the hands of the Pioneers. And to answer your question, I didn't notice the full reload coming through right away, but yo, he was comfortable. He also probably could have tried avoiding that jam too, which even shows a lot of composure in tough fights, because if you know me, you know I jam my gun every 2 seconds, all right? Now, RushieZ, as they have to get something going. They are so far behind in this matchup. They need a big team win here, even for the scrap time at neutral. Possibly come away with another power weapon. That's a flash on the ground. 2 flashes, backs up. No stuns come through. But at least no more utility being given up there towards the Pioneers as they are flying through RushieZ.
Hndles just lets him have it. That's an up A right through that first shot. He has to force him to hit the second shot. Hndles has got to get the call out that he's going to be stuck between 2 players. 3 shots in, gets the kill. Now he resets. He's resetting another 1v. It looks like RushieZ is waiting on another player. That's 3 in a row.
Resets.
He's going for more. Can't get the 4th. INZEM finally shuts him down. But Shawnee went nuts. Shawnee is a menace on this map 1.
Yo, he's stingy, okay? As I like to say with Taylor, Shawnee wants it all. The Grinch himself, if you got it, he considers it his. So you better fight hard for it.
He's stingy like a dad with that big piece of chicken. I'm telling you that much.
Yo, you better get off my bone, okay? Because I'm gonna clean it down to the gristle, okay? Especially if I got a bottle with me, all right? A little dab every now and then. But bottle of hot sauce, folks, okay? Now, RushieZ. They get the 3 kills that they need. So they're collecting on the hill, but RushieZ, he tried to play for the spawn. He didn't recognize how many players were spawning up as quickly as they did, but with them on the other side of the map, he should be able to get to this fight in time. His teammates can hold it, but DeTox gets caught slipping. He got help.
Get the kill. He doesn't clean up the kill. It's now a 3v3. It's now a 3v3. That's one of those situations where Acells' aggression, he got a little greedy right there. 1 and 2, maybe needed to just take 1. This is a full hill hold for RushieZ. This is what they needed to start getting back into this. It's still 199 to maybe 70 or 80, depending upon how long they stay here. It might even be 90 because there's still 20 points left on that last hill.
Now, RushieZ trying to play for mid-map control. This is a 3v3 man-on-man fight. Avexys threads that shot to not take out his teammate, and Xysho goes down in that ramp. I don't know who, RushieZ crossed him down. It says it on my screen. Now, Acells taken out as well. The power weapons go over towards RushieZ. They're at next. They got the numbers on the map as well. You need at least 1 bow kill for them to get settled.
First big hill in favor of RushieZ. Bo is revving up. They see that 3 players are out the backside. There's a bolt out. Won't find anybody. Smoke is out. Revving up yet again. They're looking for a pick. He's going to be tagged up, but he finds the headshot on Acells. Hndles will get the down there, but the headshot comes through. They got DeTox kind of separated out. He was out of position, but they can't find any of these kills. Now the Pioneers are forced to fly in. Avexys revving another bow. Avexys gets a tag, but he tagged INZEM. He tagged INZEM. A double kill on his own team. Jay's normally one of the most clutch T-Bow players on the planet, but not that time.
Yo, I don't know who to blame because he did a good job shooting around his teammates. That's what made the headshot so sick. But he had the right weapon out for the team fight. It was 3 people pushing him, but he kept trying to dodge his teammates, and he was doing a good job to let that one go without shooting him, but his teammate side rolled in front of him at the wrong time and ended up killing the next guy. So it was a difficult spot. He could have had a shotty out. Once it's all said and done, it's the Pioneers collected on the rest of the time at this hill. But RushieZ, they only give up a bit. You could still consider this hill a win for them. Now they got to set their sights towards the next one, and they're rotating as a unit, and they're gonna find a fight here. But they're not a full unit. It's not man on man just yet.
Big down there on the Hndles. That first kill's huge for them. That could settle this up. Now you got to worry about everybody else. Big nade in by Acells will at least trade out. I believe it was a suicide nade there as he was on the ground. Flashbang out. DeTox is now going to be bouncing against the Xysho, but he plays back. He just continues to play his defensive position. Gets the down with the L triggers and finally finishes off the kill. Blaze, what I like from RushieZ right here is RushieZ is playing a little bit slower now. They're not playing into the Pioneers' aggression. Looks like Bronny will pick up the new torque bow, so that needs to be a little bit of a worrying position, but Bronny has a 1v1 here for the bow. Avexys, he tried his damnedest, but he couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, that was a huge 1v. Now the bow's getting crossed out. INZEM will not get revived, and DeTox is trying to stay alive as long as he can. This is huge from RushieZ, but the meat shield blocked the flash, and Xysho with a quick turnaround. DeTox now getting hunted. He knows he can only run for so long before he has to just turn around and get his, right? Get one and hope his teammates will have numbers elsewhere on the map. 40 more points needed. 25 left in the hill. 2 bowls in the chamber for Bronny. And that's a kill.
That was a quick kill. Now Avexys is full red. He's going to try to bounce in on the Bronny. Xysho trying to add in that last bit of damage. Will get the down. There's the kill. I don't know if they're going to bleed it all the way out to 280 so, but they are going to sit here for quite some time. It'll be 285 if they stay for every last point. They stay for 276. It looks like they might rotate. No, Xysho goes back.
Yeah, he backs up. Coming around with the long rotation. Wants to fight behind his teammates. They can have that Lancer fire as RushieZ is fighting hip by hip. They get a few revives, but not in the nick of time. Pioneers in a victory position, in a victory setup. DeTox, he gets a close spawn for some of his teammates. They may be able to contest for a second, but they got a long list of things in which they got to get done. And I don't know if they got enough time, as the clock in the score is not in their favor. Neither are these nades.
First nade doesn't find anybody. Second one separates the two players from RushieZ. INZEM has to stay alive for as long as he can here. Bouncing around, getting tagged over the Lancer. Then he goes down to Xysho. One player rotating in behind. That's DeTox trying to get into the hill for the neutralization. 297 to 134. Needs that last kill. There it is. It's done. It's over. 300 to 134.
The Pioneers get it done in map number 1. And honestly, Colin, you look at it from the beginning towards the end. Once they had the lead, they never gave it up. They never allowed RushieZ to take that pace back. And you think about who made those big impactful plays. Oh man, that was Hndles, okay? He was snapping. He wanted it all, and he got it.
199 to 36 through the first 4 hills. Now, granted, the next 2 hills is it's about a 70-point swing in favor of RushieZ. You get 70 points for RushieZ to only the 30, or no, it's 70 to 50. So it's still only a plus 20 in the book of RushieZ. They never went on that same kind of monumental run. You look at 199 to 36, 34, or 36, yeah, 199 to 36. That's a 160 point differential in the plus category for the Pioneers. The biggest swing in point differential for a RushieZ was 20-something, 27, 28, I think, if I did the math right.
And that was right after that score line. That's when RushieZ had the bow, and they were starting to get a nice little setup on that hill, and they were winning some fights. And outside of the one bad bow, that one bad play that Avexys made right there, that doesn't come through. That bad, I'm gonna say it's a bad team fight. Okay, I don't want to put it all on Avexys. That bad team fight from RushieZ, that. At that point, Pioneers pretty much said, okay, we got this one wrapped up. We're crossing that 250 point marker. We're going to a 50-50 hill, and we're going into it with power weapons to work with. They locked it up. Now we got to start focusing here on Tomb, but you know, before we go talking about Tomb too quickly, man, Hndles had a fantastic game, Colin.
Hndles was brilliant from start to finish, Blaze. I mean, there was not a single kill that I really felt was out of his grasp. You see him reset 3 different fights here at this pillar, soloing them out. And that comes with that practice bravado we have seen out of Hndles the last few weeks. My man is playing more wagers. He's putting more money where his mouth is than just about anybody else on the planet. And when you play that many wagers, especially 1v wagers, you get confident in resetting those fights. You get a different level of just aggression where you know the shot you got to hit. You know the shot you can take. And that's why Shawnee has been so good in those 1v spots. And just to confirm for you, Blaze, Hills 1 through 4 was a 163 positive differential for Pioneers. Hills 5, 6, and 7 was a 28 positive differential for RushieZ. That's the difference that you have in that map 1. That's why it's so lopsided, 300 to 134.
Yeah, good math on that one. Great stat line. I love when you and Jacob, you know, bring up those hill by hill scores. And you know, RushieZ, they got off to a slow start. And the one thing that you know you had pointed out was RushieZ was probably playing too much for the power weapons in certain situations. I think they played well by getting them, but they didn't capitalize as much as they probably wanted to on that. Especially if you think about the big play that got made with the nades when RushieZ had a fantastic setup on one of those hills, and Acells gets a double nade, and they give up that second hill for RushieZ to really kind of stay in that game and get that momentum. So got outplayed in map number 1. Now we're going to start talking about Tomb. And I know you know, when you saw the map cycle initially, you felt like the Pioneers are going to be really excited about this one.
Yeah, because I think the Pioneers are going to feel really good about separating out RushieZ, forcing RushieZ to make strategies work in their favor. Because you know the Pioneers, their base strat on this is, we're going to go man up across the map. It's going to look a lot like War Machine from old school Gears execution. We're going to have a bunch of 1Vs, and all 4 of those cats are confident in their 1Vs. You can't tell me they're not. If I'm on the side of RushieZ, if I'm a fan of RushieZ or I'm one of their coaches, you're going to have to figure out a way to manipulate yourself around the map better, not give up those early 1Vs. Maybe even bait them in. I've seen the Pioneers lose some rounds on Tomb specifically by allowing the midline players to get a little bit of extra damage and then try to pressure their kills. And then they basically pull them all the way back into spawn and then they just entrap them. It's almost like a battle of the bulge. You basically collapse out this way so that as the forces move in, you have your other guys pincer in like they were a velociraptor. It's been a brilliant couple of plays. I've seen teams like the Knights use against the Pioneers on this map. I believe United has done it once or twice. RushieZ can do some of the same things. They have the right personnel for it. RushieZ is one of the sneakiest players. He can get away from a heavy damage shot. DeTox as well. Avexys can use his movement to get away from bad positions. So I need to see them be very good about manipulating the way Pioneers move about this map.
Yeah, very, very well said. And now there's a few different levels to it, right? Like, so let's take, you're a very good team and you're playing a newer team, right? You have strategies to take your numbers and initiate and get that damage off from your opponent to get those opening breaks and kills. And that may be your primary play style because you do it better than most. Now, versus on, the flip side, you have that passive team or that one team that's coming out in a more defensive stance. That squad is very reactionary to everything that's thrown out at them, and they may make that their primary play style. In this situation, I think that the Pioneers are the former of that super aggressive initials in which they can get creating those plays. They're going to be very good at that. It's going to be up to RushieZ on the edge to get that pincer move on the Pioneers, on them, to be able to really trap them in those certain situations. But also, the Pioneers, they're one of our best reactive teams that's out there. So if they feel like they got RushieZ where they want them and force them to have to make plays, that's when they shift gears and start to run away with this one if they can get some of these early rounds. But it's RushieZ with the early kills. Quickly responded by Hndles at the mid-map. He's coming to fly to help his teammates. He gets one, but that's all he can get. It's RushieZ with round number 1.
Did you see how quickly they were able to get into that position where they were able to help their teammates? The quick collapse by RushieZ there at the middle of that garden. Granted, you still lose 2 players. You really only lost 1 because that last player was a last-ditch effort. It was basically a Hail Mary by the side of the Pioneers to try to get at least 1 more kill to try to make it a little bit more competitive. That's what RushieZ has to continue to do. They have to collapse on the Pioneers each and every time they get initial damage.
The flash, INZEM expected, well, Bronny expected it. He gets back in the fight with INZEM, but they get a late flash, and that's a chunk. He goes down, but the collapse comes in. Acells head went wide. He joins the fight at the right time to get the kill. As you saw, that was Xysho that went off with that double. He moved in, cleaned up too. Very, very well there, coming out for the Pioneers.
Here you can see it in the replay. INZEM with a big back A. Bronny gets down with that second shot, but here comes Xysho, hits the downing shot.
Turn around.
Avexys with a little misroll and good shot holding capability. I know a lot of people say, oh, he misrolled at him. How could you not hit that shot? Trust me, brother, I see more people not get kills off of misrolls than you would ever believe.
Especially if he thought that he had to kill up the kill on the ground. He knew he had help from his teammate. And we're seeing them come together once again as they will win that 3-man team fight at Tree. And, I think we're seeing better flash placements come out from the Pioneers and when they initiate. Because they want to have their flashes on the ground last, and they're being successful at it. Also a beatdown.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna let that one marinate for a while. I was gonna let that marinate for a while, my man. That's like, how when you put that salt and pepper on a good piece of steak, man, you just let that sit for a while. That's what I was letting that do. I was just letting that sit. I was just gonna let that hang out.
Yeah, that dry rub, that dry ferment. I feel that. We'll talk about that one later. Now, Bronny off to start, flash out, dodges his opponents. He cuts in. He gets a late one from his teammate. That's Acells throwing that late flash behind him on the right. INZEM gets some shots on him, but INZEM's focused on too much. He gets the help from DeTox that he needs. And there's the kills. There's the 2v2 left on the map. Oh, 1v1. INZEM.
This is INZEM's specialty. This is INZEM's specialty. I really thought he needed to reset that longer. He needed to be able to call the rotation of Hndles out to the outside. I thought INZEM right there, if he had gotten away from that, gotten any of his health back, that we were about to see a 1v1 for the ages, but he was just so red that Hndles had to hit one more real decent shot.
Also, I don't think Hndles was going to ever allow him to get his health back either. It happened so quickly. INZEM was focused on the edge. He goes down. Avexys Bronny kills Avexys. Bronny and Xysho goes down. INZEM makes it a 2v2. There's the revive on the ground. It comes through.
Yeah, he's full red.
He pulled the snub, and I understand the decision making. That's one of those positions where it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he has the Nasher out, Hndles is still gonna push you because he needs to hit one more body shot to be able to get a kill on you. So that's just, you did what you thought was best by trying to angle him out with the snub damage right there. Bronny gets pulled into the spawn, but I believe Bronny got a kill. Hndles gets answered back though. It looks like Bronny's rotated down now. Oh, that was almost 5-head. My man shot the ground. He was like, yo, I dare you to run over this bolt. I dare you.
If that landed on the other side of the cover, that's a different story in that fight. But instead, it's going to be a Pioneers 3-1 advantage in this 5th round, as they'll be able to pick this one up and go up 4-1 in this series. Another beatdown for them. Everything's going right for the Pioneers in this map. They're getting off the initial damage to get those first bloods that they need, and they're choosing a time in which they're engaging in on these fights, dodging all of RushieZ's utility off the start. RushieZ has to be a little bit more patient going into this next round. They got to find a way to force the Pioneers to try to make that first step forward and play off this confidence that they've built up over the last 4 rounds. Use it against them.
I think what we got to see here out of RushieZ is that they were able to take a little bit of an advantage down toward the torque bow. They just couldn't hit the shot, and then they had Bronny pulling into that spawn. If you're going to try that, you've got to be able to take advantage of that. That is one of those things where you've got to be able to convert those kinds of plays. Revive's coming out across this midsection, but 3 kills coming through very quickly. Avexys last alive. He's down. And here comes the house party. Little guitar angle. They're going to hit some snub shots. They're going to raise the roof on him. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they coordinated this one.
You know why Bronny uses that, don't you? Never mind. I'm not going to say it because that's just mean. It's just me. It's just me. You know, yeah. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I like to use that execution.
Why you
in
like
execution? Because if I ever win a clutch 1v, I tell people that I'm doing this to you because I'm trying to remind you of Darth Vader. Because all you do is choke.
Because all you do is choke. Oh, gasping for air at the end. RushieZ, they need a breath of life now. Bronny, once again, mid-map, cuts INZEM from getting off to his spot, but INZEM tried to make a play, but Hndles won his 1v. INZEM playing back. Avexys steps up, but can he do it one more time? They need to find a kill quick. Snipes in the hand of Xysho. Avexys has to rotate towards the middle. DeTox can't do much. Oh, almost puts himself in that one-shot range, but now it's DeTox trapped in the corner.
Avexys was trying out for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. My man was just going.
He was trying to get that Knuckles roll.
He was. My man was.
He was like, I don't know why he chose Idris when he could have had me.
You see how fast my man was? I can't even. My brain doesn't think that fast. There's no way I could move that fast. I'm telling you.
Man, oh man. The Pioneers come out on top in map number 2, 6-1. And Colin, this has been dominant. Okay, what word comes to mind for you?
Domination, totality of fatality. They have done nothing but put them on their backs for 2 straight maps. Will the Pioneers be able to wrap it up in map 3, or will RushieZ finally have an answer?
Yeehaw! As we're back here, as the Stallions are galloping into map number 3. The Pioneers, with their fans on their back, with their teammates to their side, and all the haters on their heads, they have a 2-0 lead up against RushieZ.
Hey, look, you want to call them Stallions, Blaze? I got to cut you off because when they first came on the scene, everybody thought they were just some bucking Broncos. They showed that muscle. Everybody knew that they were Mustangs. And what they've done to the rest of the scene is make them all look like ponies. They are, without a doubt, one of the most dominant forces I've ever gotten to witness roll out of Spawn in Gears history.
Yeah, man, and they're showing it today. And, you know, I feel like every time I bet against them, they say, you know what, let's shut Blaze up again, right? Like, in my head, I thought RushieZ could do it on E-Days, and they did. And I was like, okay. But it's one stat, right, that I always care to forget. Have we ever seen them lose back-to-back? Right? Like in a certain span. I don't think we ever seen them lose big matches back-to-back. And the Pioneers, they always know how to respond from their last L. So going into Vasgar Escalation, you know, Colin, you felt like RushieZ had to take either, I think, maps 1 or 4. I kind of felt like RushieZ needed maps 2 and 3 to be up in this series. Nonetheless, they got to take them all now.
Yeah, they got to take them all. Vasgar, the way I looked at it was RushieZ had to get to map 5. I saw their path to victory kind of being, I'm being full honest with you, full stop. I thought it was 2, 3, 5. I said they're going to win that tomb. They're going to win that Vasgar. They're going to win that map 5. If that's how they're going to do it, that's how they're going to do it. The fact that the Pioneers have come out and just giving people elbows like they were Shaq in the early 2000s, that's a scary sight for anybody that bet on RushieZ tonight, because they are playing with a different level of confidence. I mean, they're coming out of spawn slanging and banging with the best of them. They just bounce from one wall to the next, and they are just letting people have it. They're saying, look, I got 8 pellets with every shot. You know how many you about to have in your chest?
Yeah.
8.5, because one of my teammates is right over there, and he's also shooting you. That's what has caused them to win so many of these fights. And I harken back to that control. They played smart. They outplayed RushieZ. RushieZ played for those torque bows, for those power weapons. They got them, and they didn't get the payoff for what those power weapons for. But even during those fights, the Pioneers were playing time of possession. They're racking up points. They go into the execution. Nobody fought alone. They never let it be 1v1s. In this map 3, they need to be able to win a round or 2 early to pressure out the Pioneers. If they can do that, they're going to be okay. But an early home-to-home setup for RushieZ, or for the Pioneers, excuse me, is going to have to be answered back by RushieZ here momentarily.
All right, it has to. It has to. Now, Xysho, I thought he had a 1v1. He still feels like he had one. Now it's a 2v1. His teammate comes in, but it's a big play from INZEM. He goes down at the last second. Avexys gets the first read, couldn't get the second. A flank comes in at the nick of time for Bronny as he coming off his respawn, trying to get his home hill back. RushieZ is there. But the thing is, RushieZ knows that they're going to have to deal with 3 players soon. Either they fight now or they back up. They're going to fight now. Acells with the uppercut. That's going to force, I think that's DeTox. No, that's Avexys to have to run back and defend C.
Hndles tries to walk up to him, tries to walk into one. Back A, tries to go for the up A for the down of the chunk on INZEM. Won't be able to get it. Pioneers already rotated over here to the C hill. They got the decap. Now they're looking for the retake in just a moment. It is a 2v3 situation as RushieZ has brought everybody over here. There's the retake by the Pioneers. They have the hill officially. They can play back now, play a little defensively. Exactly what they're going to do. I believe RushieZ had a good angle there across the map. It looks like the baited up A from INZEM didn't work. And then the rack from Bronny is too strong. DeTox all by his lonesome. Full red has to fight against 2 players of the Pioneers. One more good shot gets him down and dead. That's going to be all she wrote. Hndles wins the B hill. This is now incumbent upon RushieZ's respawns to even touch C.
They get the touch. Here's the decap, but they're trying to move forward. INZEM, he got his teammate to get the pressure off the left, and there's some quick fights, but they got the revive there towards the left of RushieZ, and now the rest of the downs is there, but here comes the rest of the cavalry. They got to clean up this fight quickly because you're going to have a flank from Hndles come through, but that's going to be the round. Pioneers, they get it done and strike first.
Now
it's only 20 pounds.
I mean, is it? Did you actually see a number on that?
I just saw it. It was only a 20. That's why it's only a 20.
Hey,
I thought it was at least a 50. Maybe I saw it backwards.
I got pigs that weigh way more than
We'll
that.
say it's a 50 pounder doing those arm presses. I know damn well they didn't put a 20-pound weight doing them shoulder presses like that.
I mean,
not for these Gears characters.
I was gonna say, you seen some gamers though, dog? You might want to start light. You might want to start light, brother. I mean,
I know my generation of gamers. That's all I can speak on.
There's a lot
of my
grass
generation
that ain't been seen. I'm telling you, there's a lot of grass.
Okay, half of y'all on the FM workout plan now. I know my generation of gamers. All right, we thick. You know, we do our best out here. You know, we got. You know when it comes down to it, like how they say you can like old muscle. You know how you can't beat up on your old heads, and don't be testing them because they got that old muscle, boy, that hidden strength that you never see. I feel like we're entering that age, Colin, because I know you could toss around a few hay bales, over your shoulder, about 3 or 4 at once.
I think it's more my brain muscle. I know what fights I can't win. I'll tell you that much. Just like right here, the Pioneers, they're in a sticky situation. They're going to give up the home-to-home stretch, and they're getting pressed at B. Bronny dies over there. This is a triple cap domination here momentarily. The RushieZ boys have really changed the pacing on this round, too. They overloaded one side. They want a retake of the 1v. Acells has to go for 2 different up A's. Won't be able to get either both of them to go. 2 downs for RushieZ. One player tries to crawl toward the middle. It's Avexys by himself here at B.
He can't shoot too early. He has to let these players walk up on him. But he shoots one. Now he's going to rotate. Help will come at the right time. So Avexys not a bad option to choose that fight. But he still gets chased down before Help can get in and play an impact on this fight. And now it's 2 2v1s that are being taken here by the Pioneers. RushieZ able to find one. He gets taken out. But Bronny is going to wait for his teammates' help. He knows he doesn't have an angle. Acells joins the fight. And now another 2v1 for the Pioneers as they're doing a good job, a better job at navigating their numbers.
And I love the fact that Xysho just pulled all the way back to the spawn. He said all the way back to home, wait for the respawn to get here, wait for Hndles to join him. So Xysho and Hndles are playing the 2v over here. They're going to leave Bronny in a 1v. They're actually going to rotate Acells all the way back because it looks like RushieZ is going for the 3v2 once again. Flash comes out, isn't answered. Here comes the flash waiting. I think Xysho is going to try to get out of that position. He does just in time. I believe Xysho Acells got down, excuse me. Hndles is playing this right-hand side, gets 1 kill. Now he has the snub in his possession. He's going to put out a ton of damage. RushieZ has to go for a revive on that side of the map, but DeTox, he's rotated all the way across the map and has put in a little pressure of his own, but still 2-1 hill advantage in favor of the Pioneers.
Oh!
Hey, yo, that was dirty.
Bro,
dirty.
That was the cleanest L trigger I've seen in a minute. Now, RushieZ, 2 hills to their name, and they get a decap on B. In this late game, they're looking good, but I think that RushieZ maybe needs to do a 3-man press over to B now, sooner rather than later, and continue to try to flip this map. But based off the time, they don't want to make any drastic moves just yet. They want the Pioneers to have to work up these uphill battles, and they have to plan to RushieZ. They know that. They're okay with their 2v2 defense in any of these scenarios, in any of these locations. As Avexys doing a great job working his left, get some solid shots in. That's a down. That's not the chunk he wants. That's the down. He's got to reposition. Tables turned on him, but his teammates win their battle on the top portion of the map.
That's a beautiful job here. You see right here at the C hill. RushieZ is about to finish it off anyway as they've maintained the A hill, and Pioneers were not able to get the full decaps they needed, tying it up 1-1. Be curious to see what the Pioneers do because both teams have won from their strong side here in the first half with home-to-home spreads, really. I mean, just the constant pressure home-to-home in the first half has been extraordinarily good. Here comes INZEM. We're going to see side. Yikes.
Yeah. He got hit with a Botox shot too. He knew he was getting pressed, and that's one of those situations where, honestly, that's as close to observation hockey or ultra instinct as you get for my anime fans out there, just because he knew his opponent was going to play aggressive and he couldn't be reactive. If not, he would have died first from that spread, and he preemptively lined it up and took that shot when he needed to. Now, B hill. Bronny.
That first shot being missed is terrible for Bronny. He needed that first to be a brick to try to get that down.
He needed that one. That was huge. But that's going to be a flank coming in towards the A hill. This aggression coming out from the Pioneers is perfect. But RushieZ, they do a good job holding that spawn point because they know Pioneers is not going to cross that open area because that is the definition of no man's land. And you do not want to cross that for the high-risk plays of picking up a few kills. And even these top-level teams know that. Ooh, Hndles gets taken out. I thought he may be able to get one and stay alive and just be a nuisance, but it's a great rotation from Bronny to possibly get this game tied up.
Bronny needs a little bit of help. He's going to get pressed here very momentarily. 2 players from the Pioneers are rotating through that second half home hill. They're going to have shots in toward RushieZ. E-hill, decap now, back A's out from Bronny. Good little sidestep by Bronny. That secondary bounce keeps him alive for a moment. RushieZ will go down onto that fence line. 1 player left alive. It's INZEM. He gets double shot and taken down. 1v1 at the A-hill. 4 control over the round thus far. Flash will come in. Hndles was not stunned. He rotated away from it far enough. DeTox has to rotate back behind that L cover. Shot in. Now he's going to try to go for the roadie strafe. Won't be able to get that one either. Once again, Bronny is in the 1v1 spot at the B-hill. And it looks like this time the Pioneers are going to be okay with a 2-2 split.
Yeah, they'll be okay with that for now. They got a lot of intel on the map. They got 2/3 of it covered. And with that, they are setting up for the defense that they need to guard B. A trip cap domination was threatened, but RushieZ, they're not taking the bait just yet. They know no one's over there. RushieZ able to get one. He backs up, forces 2 players into him. RushieZ. Is the trap set? They can't give up another kill in this situation. They finally take down Xysho. Oh, Hndles got the down that he needed. That'll get him a decap. That's gonna slow RushieZ down and buy his teammates some time. But you see RushieZ have give the same treatment on the opposite end.
I don't know how teams continue to let that happen to them, especially on Vasgar. I've seen it so many times by teams that played against the Pioneers when they weren't the Pioneers, against other teams where you just leave somebody down to crawl around and think about their decisions. Looks like the Pioneers are going in for the double cap here at the B hill. They want to try to get this back into their favor to continue their point accumulation. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the Pioneers have a little pinch at the A hill.
Nice flash. That should be the fight, right? Right?
No, surely. No, they don't get the down yet.
Ooh.
Good finish. Double bounce in by Avexys. That's a beautiful win by Avexys there. And that is a long time for him to have the A hill uncontested. This is going to have to be a fight won by RushieZ here.
Needs a decap.
They need a decap to be able to get this win, though. Won't be able to get that first shot over.
Situation. Oh, he killed his teammate. Now it's a 1v2. RushieZ in a position to close this out. They can't get the domination, but the score, it goes in their favor. No heals cap. DeTox just trying to capitalize on these players in the open. He gets the help. He can go back in time if he needs to. It's just Hndles there. He has to fight him. It's a RushieZ win.
Team kills, my man. They had a perfect chance to win that with the double decap. I mean, just the way, and then they all they had to do was just, they had to stay back. Once they got that cap, just play back to your side of the map. You got the angle into the hill. They can't get into the hill without you being able to see them if you're playing on your side of the map, if you're playing a rival spawn at the tank.
Now, like, and it was a good turnaround too. Like, they both were gonna win that fight, I think, because they turned around and focused the 2v1 because the player behind them had a good amount of distance where he was out of that chunk range to really have an impact, especially if a revive came through from the Pioneers. But the team kill from Bronny, it was a backpack too as well from that camera angle that he took. He really didn't see him until the last second. Now, it's RushieZ up 2-1. Last round of the first half. Weapon placements have been basic so far. Got some retro lancers, DeTox. You got a shot grenade force as well. Some good shots coming out here from RushieZ. They're gonna move forward, knowing they got a 2-man advantage in this fight technically.
There is a down onto Hndles. The quick revive comes out, but they're not gonna be able to get him around the corner. No, he wouldn't have a chance to get around the corner. They're gonna get the C hill here in just a few moments. Bronny on the opposite side is in the 1v1 spot yet again. Acells will push up into the backside of that platform. Xysho's looking for another angle. He's going to throw out a flash to try to get away and get safely into this cubby. Here comes a third player pushing in. Another flash will go out. Maybe trying to push to the right-hand side.
Shock.
Is that a shock over the top? Yes, it is a shock over the top, but it didn't get the stun, though. It's just keeping him between those two pillars, but it's not getting any damage.
It's not good enough. Not a great spread. Great defensive shot from DeTox. Now the aggression. Oh, great fire on the next player. They almost got the third down. That would have been 4. Avexys gets aggressive with the retro, but doesn't take the proper angle. And Bronny with a right hand will survive that fight. One that he should never walk away from. But he puts himself in a 1v1 position against INZEM, and I think he's had INZEM's number all night, okay? Like speed dial, top 5. Woo-wee! Man. You know, he's definitely with that one phone company. I ain't gonna say no phone company names, but you know.
Oh my God, he traded that.
Avexys, he has another 1v.
You're in no man's land.
Yeah, he gets caught out. I think RushieZ, they're good to take some. Yep, they're gonna take some more map control. They should be able to at least get B back in their favor, knowing that they got 2 quick kills.
He can't pressure. All that extra snub sound right there is not about to get them the extra damage they need, and they can't even stay in the 90 degree to be able to get that down. Now it's a 2v1, 3v2 on that side of the map. DeTox is going to back off. DeTox knows they have. That's the smart play. RushieZ is doing exactly what Pioneers have been needing to do the past couple of rounds, which is just roll back, play your defense, play your numbers.
play off your successes on the initial. You know, the initial is hard in Gears of War. No matter if you're playing execution, escalation, or control, you win your initial, you get as much from that as you can. Positioning, power weapons, put yourself in a spot to get those first few shots in. Ooh-wee, to make that defense that much stronger. Shots like that, INZEM comes away with 2. B hill captured. It's a 2v2 at the A hill. DeTox is flipped by Acells off the left hand, and now A hill decap. Acells can't stay alive for long. It's a RushieZ round.
RushieZ again playing the intelligent game, doing much better at forcing the Pioneers to play their game, play into their defense, play into what RushieZ wants. Those extra Lancers, those extra damaging shots. I mean, you saw it a few rounds ago where RushieZ just played defense. They played back into their spawn, awaiting the rotation of DeTox for the flank at that first half home hill at the checkpoint spawn side of the map. That's the thing that people need to be conscious of, is just how good RushieZ has been at playing back.
Here we go. First round of the second half. Now, we're gonna start to see a little bit of shift in our heels. Oh, a little secret man in the corner. Oh, yeah, he caught him at the last second. RushieZ gets first shot off on Bronny. This is a different 1v1. This ain't INZEM. But does it matter? Oh, we gonna find out. He rotates. Now RushieZ, he puts himself, I think, in the best spot to take this fight. His back's to the wall. He's a little bit more comfortable. Bronny's back is to the spawn, so has that same amount of comfortability. On the other side, Pioneers get backed up a little bit. They're defending the 1v1. RushieZ comes out on top. That forces the Pioneers to have to play forward. RushieZ, they're gonna play for the domino. Can they get one down?
They're waiting on RushieZ. They know that they have to press forward. RushieZ is on the flank. No, RushieZ pulled off. Oh my God, the Pioneers got enough downs to push him off.
He should. I don't think he should have played it. I think that RushieZ knows that Pioneers are gonna play into their hands momentarily, but instead they wanted the domination in that moment, and RushieZ did force it ultimately, and a power weapon is off the map. But I think they had to win one more team fight. Regardless, Pioneers, look what they got now. F hill, E hill. No power weapons in play, but they're about to get a kill on INZEM. They're going to chase him down. Bronny don't let these go by for free. As the flash is out, INZEM has a little bit of his health back, but he has help. He just needs to open up the lane for his teammate and let him get in without taking any shots.
There's 3 of them over there. RushieZ sent 3 people to the back tank to fight the 2 players, and Xysho said, "I'm just going to rotate through."
This could be it.
No, he's got to just stop the triple cap coming in against them.
It needs to be a quick kill for RushieZ. Double cap for the win? Nope, they can't get the F hill. Now Pioneers, they're gonna try to go for the home hill setup. I think that'll pay dividends if they try to get past tank, but you know, holding a D hill is funky sometimes. You know, based off how your opponents comes out of spawn with the flashes, like players know how to really break that setup.
Looking for the shot over the top. I don't know what they can get right now as DeTox has to roll back because it looks like the Pioneers have the good angle over here, but they're down by 50 points still. RushieZ is up in the escalation. Roll out by Acells will get him down. Lancer fire was through and true. Xysho on a flank gets one. Now Xysho trying to get 2. Won't be able to get it, but the revive comes from the bottom side. DeTox is big and strong and powerful. Ooh. Back A gets one. Bronny tries to slide in for the trade out, but won't be able to get it. I mean, this round is all but over at this point. RushieZ is going to stand right at the edge of that shot
timing?
And blame him. Yeah, he just rolled right at the edge of the shock. He baited Hndles to step out.
Yeah, he saw that little bit of tick that he got, and he was like, oh, I could move around this. I could play that close quarter battle. RushieZ up 4-1. RushieZ, not your damage leader, but he is your stat leader. DeTox got him by about 200. Retro Lancers and Shocks are on the map for RushieZ, and we saw the sniper placement go down for KCP the round before. Now, KCP should have an advantage on his side, playing from the top portion of the map. Their home being D, they should be able to look down into it, but, you know, even every time I say that, I see a lot of quick picks all the time come through. No smokes land right away. RushieZ play this a little bit more passively.
RushieZ is playing a little bit more for the damage as they have the retro. They don't have that shock that they can use to kind of separate out the opponent. Looks like RushieZ used their shock over here at the E. I heard a shock go off. I heard some electricity. I think it was placed on the E hill to prevent the early cap happening. Take a look real quick at Avexys before we see this. If you can go to Avexys for just a second. If Avexys turns his camera... Oh, never mind. He rolls off in the middle. He actually, from that ramp, can see the E-hill just enough to be able to add damage. But now that he's got the retro on the flank, I mean, it's all over but crying for Xysho. Xysho has to hit two perfect shots.
He stayed alive. That was huge. Reposition. Oh, he got cracked. This should be 3 kills coming out here for Pioneers. Avexys gets one more. Not 2. Nah, they ain't not gonna give it to him. You saw those back A's. He was waiting for help. That player's gonna have spawn shield. Hndles does a great job holding that shot back. Avexys wants a decap. He gets it, Colin. I know you're mad.
Hey, sometimes you get what you want. The other time you don't. Let's see what they can do here. As Bronny's gonna wait for 2 more players coming at him at the E hill. He misses the first shot and gets ran at by DeTox. DeTox gets that first kill, and now over at the F hill, I'm just not sure why the Pioneers are playing so spread out in this map. Granted, I am extraordinarily happy to see RushieZ with fight back, but the Pioneers are playing so separated in map 3.
Is it? Do you think it's them just trying to get control and get the pace back in their favor? RushieZ is still playing with the 4-1 lead confidence that you have being in this type of position. You could feel like you could take a few more of those 50-50 team fights, and they've been coming out on top with them as well. So Pioneers not able to get a grasp back on this map, and RushieZ will get 2 hills.
Even winning the long shot and handles his hands, they haven't been able to focus anything. Lancer fire from the opposite side has a ton of damage, but Hndles isn't able to hit that first body shot to get that down. Hits the one on the revive, but still not good enough to get a kill. Bronny trying everything in his power to get a 3rd down and out on somebody. Still can't get it. He gets rotated on very quickly by INZEM. That's 3 players from RushieZ playing up on a D. This is the wolf pack that killed E United last night and might kill the Pioneers on this map 3.
It just might. RushieZ relying heavily on their offense in these situations so far. And, you know, it's working out for them. They're vibing. They got 2 hills to their name, and this is the best map in which they've played thus far. A flash in the hands of INZEM. Gonna trickle it down the hill. But the first kill that went into their grabs, they couldn't get it. But that is 2 from RushieZ. The stun didn't even connect. He comes away with a big play. RushieZ, they'll stay on their opponent's home hill.
RushieZ is just so good in those clutch situations. I love that RushieZ just continuously has an incredible level of clutch play ability. They have to, well, they can still win. I think they're going to get a neutralization at E. Avexys here with the body shot will have an easy 1-shot down onto Acells. I mean, this is 5-1 waiting in the wings. That headshot shuts it down. It was over before that because of the rotation over to E. Beautiful job by RushieZ. This is the answer back they needed. Both of us thought that they could win map 3. We thought it might be 2-1 after map 3, and it is. It's just in favor of the Pioneers, but beautiful job here by RushieZ to answer back finally.
RushieZ, they will be able to lock in map number 3. RushieZ 15s across the board with that 2.0 KDA. 22k damage to his name. And that's RushieZ getting a much-needed map number 3 victory. And, you know, they did it off the back of winning some big individual fights, you know, and also relying on their teamwork. But they were firing off on all cylinders right there. And, hey, they needed that one. What was the difference, do you feel like, happened in that map number 3, Colin, versus the control that we saw?
The control and the execution both went the way of the Pioneers because the Pioneers were able to play closer together, play more close-knit. In that map 3, we saw the Pioneers, especially after the long shot was placed. You'd think that would bring them together more. They played so separated from one another. They were not of one mind. They were a bunch of call-outs. They were probably taking a bunch of fights at the same time. And you know what happens when those comms get muddied. You don't make the similar moves. You don't make the team play moves. And you get picked apart. That's what RushieZ did better in map 3. They stuck together as a unit, and they got their fight wins, their team fight wins. They've got to replicate that success on map 4, though, if they want to send us to that checkout map 5.
All right, they got to get it done on map number 4. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we got District Control coming up there in that map number 4. And, you know, that's going to be a good map for both of these teams. We know they're super talented there. And Hey, every single map in this series I feel like could have been a coin flip. Tomb was dominant for Pioneers, just as Vasgar was dominant for RushieZ. So we got Checkout in map 5 and District coming up. But you know, as we kind of go through these replays here of map number 3, you know, the one thing is that Pioneers, they were getting the kills. They were getting some kills, but like you said, they were just happening on an individual level, on an individual basis, where they cannot put together, you know, a play that would have took control back from RushieZ and forced RushieZ to always have to feel like they're the defensive squad. You know, that was a blunder there by Bronny. Could have paid dividends for him in that round. It was a close one. You know, in the end, RushieZ was a little bit more composed. Now, we've seen the Pioneers come off the gas before in the past, but you know, I think this map number 4 is going to be the hardest map of this series so far for RushieZ.
I look at it like this as well, and I mean, since the inception of Gears 5, since the day we landed down in Atlanta, Georgia, one of those beautiful cities on the face of the earth, and got to walk into E-League and see this game for ourselves and put our hands on it, Escalation has been so much about the better team and the team with the better teamwork. Our first 2 LAN champions, Reciprocity, were far and away the best team. You go into that summer major, you look at UIU achieving the dream, 16-0. Whenever a team perfects teamwork, you come away with a win in Escalation, and that's all it was. That was the big difference maker. RushieZ played closer together, they played more as a unit, and they ended up getting a win.
All right, here we go. RushieZ, they get it done, but it's not over yet. Their battle has just started, and so they've slowly started to warm up in this series, but you know, they put their backs up against the wall, and now they're forced to give the best version of themselves. Now we head into district control. You know, you talk a little bit about the strategy that United brought with a lot of their focus towards that mid fountain and getting control to start off district strong, as well as get those spawns. If I'm not mistaken, I think Avexys does something similar for RushieZ as he plays up in the middle. What are you expecting to kind of see out of this initial from these guys?
So I think RushieZ will try to do a little bit of the same of what we saw E United do in that first matchup of the night. The difference being is that E United went against Fury 1. Fury 1 settles up. They play their 1Vs. They want to take that fight. They're going to play into you. The difference is I think RushieZ will play back. And I think the Pioneers are going to overload the cinema. What I mean by that is there will be no going to the fountain for Avexys, because Pioneers usually push 2 to the ledge, 1 to the back spawn, 1 to the back spot of cinema. I mean, all the way in that back cover.
Yeah.
And what that gives them the ability to do is either Lancer down at the guy hiding behind the pillar, or take that mid cover and Lancer at the guy at fountain. If those 2 cats can get shots on, Avexys can't get back into the fight to help the cinema. Even if they win the drop shot, it kind of gets nullified. So what I see from the Pioneers in this one is they need to play their game, and the idea of they still got to play 2 to the ledge, 1 to the back nook. If I'm RushieZ, I play with my Lancers out through the front side of the hill, attain the drop, and then play through the front.
And what's so important too about that playing 2 to the fountain, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing it kind of right now through the fly through, you can't pick up that drop shot and cover. You know, maybe, yeah, you can't. You have to stand to get that power weapon. It's not close enough in cover. So if someone does go for that quick pick, you can get a quick turnaround and down that guy. You know, get him out the fight, maybe pre-fire. One guy can watch that. But if you feel like, you know, your opponent's playing a kind of aggressive into the hill, you can disregard him and get that quick 4v3 on top. And so we'll see how it gets played out. And it's a classic 3-1 breakout from both these squads. A scrappier engagement from RushieZ, because that's a beautiful flash coming out from DeTox. He's able to move up, but that third guy has to shift into the fight. You'll see RushieZ bring their 30 in as well. 2v2. There's the down that they want. No revive comes in at the time. Melee, no bullets left in his gun, and it's KCP who will win the first initial.
Pioneers are looking to try to continue to hold sway over the middle. Hndles will try to pick up that drop. He's going to get Lancered out from the inside of the info. Hndles is trying to get to a safe spot here. Him and his teammate are caught like rats, though, between 3 players from RushieZ. Just use the drop or put it on your back. Don't die with it out, or maybe use it to get a kill. They use it to get a kill there on INZEM. Beautiful job. Acells gets the down onto RushieZ as well, and Acells is just, I mean, asserting his dominance at this first point.
Truly is. Truly is. And So now you got Pioneers. They're gonna get definitely the lion's share of this hill. So they're gonna back up, take over the spawns. Hndles gonna regroup with his teammates. He'll be able to join Xysho, Bronny, inside of Juice. They've already pinpointed 2 RushieZ members down on the hill. I do believe they have assessed where the third is. Player 1, is he in a secret man position? Maybe, yeah. He's not showing his numbers just yet. He'll see Xysho in a rotation, but Xysho's not giving up the lane. That's still a 1v1 on that side of the map. Now, shot grenade. Is it in the hands of anyone? I don't see it. It'll be a stalemate until Avexys sees it. What's the shot grenade respawn timer?
60 seconds, I believe.
14
left.
Okay. That's the play. That's the play for RushieZ. They get it, negate, get a few points, possibly play for next and get a better setup because they already got player 1 in position. But Avexys, as he moves up, he's not going for the shock just yet. He's going in for the fight. But Pioneers, they're playing for the shock.
There's Avexys. Avexys has gone back to pull out the shock.
Faking it? Yeah, they're faking it.
They're trying to bait it.
Yeah. They know he's gonna run, and that's a good initial from the Pioneers. While he's out the fight, double Lancer successful. They lose 1 out the fight, and Avexys, he's still alive. He misses the shot for the revive, and DeTox, he'll stay alive for points. Crucial points.
Very crucial points, and now you see him starting to rotate over through the top side, trying to make sure there's no neutralization here. Still plenty of time left on this hill, 30 seconds left or so. Big body shot there. Second shot lands for Acells. He's going to get lancered out from the top side of the map. He's going to try to rotate down and get to a reviving teammate, but the one teammate is there. It's Bronny. Bronny hits a shot onto RushieZ and then hits the second wrap shot and gets the kill. Fight over the top drop shot now. Avexys will push down in, miss 1 shot, now trying to find a second. Avexys needs 1 more. It's a double down, but I think RushieZ has teammates in the area.
Yeah, okay. He gets aggressive. Presses out the players of the Pioneers. That's a solid shot from DeTox. Spawn and drop shot in the hands of RushieZ. But look, Hndles already in the hill. He's not slowing down. He says, I found him. Oh, yes, but they found you as well.
Big kill there. I think DeTox needs to use this drop here to solidify an early push at the hill. They're going to lose there. Hit the double. Only 1. He can't get the second player rolling back, so now he's going to have to try to help out RushieZ. He's going to have the meat shield now snub out, and he's going to have some help over the top from DeTox. That's a clean sweep for them. They will have the initial portion of this hill, and it'll be up to the Pioneers to rotate off of respawn.
Now, Pioneers, they can have a shot grenade, but they got to play the low side of the map to get it. They will, though. Drop's not going to be up for a bit. It's going to turn into a 2-1-1, actually, or a 2-2. Player 5, he's not going to cut from the low side. 40 points on the hill. They're shifting numbers a bit. By the time they engage, there's going to be about 20 points left in this hill, but we see the early flashes. The shock shifted to the window. A counter flash to stop some Lancer fire to come through. The counter is there. Well, not the counter so much, but the neutralization is there on the side of the Pioneers. Big revive from DeTox, and the spawns favor RushieZ as INZEM gets a beautiful cross to save his teammates, and RushieZ will collect on that hill, and they can start thinking about next.
They're going to start rotating over to next here momentarily as they're starting to set up toward the bottom side of the map. Avexys will help get that 1 big melee and a shot on. That's a 2-piece if I've ever seen one. Right now, we're going to see RushieZ. After he gets that kill in the juice, he's going to rotate over. He's going to get challenged a little bit, but he does have the angle on Acells if Acells gets pushed out here. I believe they've called out RushieZ inside of the juice. They're looking for him, trying to bait the back A out from him. 2 shots in, 2 shots over the top. Will get the kill. 4v3 on the map now. They need to move into this very quickly.
Very quickly. Drop shots up. DeTox cuts in. Quick revive. I think he got the ammo. He did a little quick crouch, put it in his back pocket, says, I'm out of here. The stun, the pressure. Oh, the plays from Bronny. He gets 2. The revive is there. The drop shot's out of play, and the Pioneers is in control.
Now we see Bronny jump up into the side of that shot. He's trying to get that character going into the info. I believe that is Avexys. Avexys will be called out. 45 seconds left on the hill. Pioneers need to have a good hold here. DeTox in a 1v1 here. Big snub shots out. Get the damage early, and then Hndles misses the second shot, and that'll be a win for DeTox opposite side of the map. Now 2v2 over here. Looking for the extra Lancer angle all the way across the map. There's a down on Bronny. Still trying to find shots. 1 shot over the top after the stun. The shock was there to help out, but not enough, not in time.
Player 2 got
Pioneers
rotate.
have taken the lead here, but it will be short-lived as Acells will go down and RushieZ will take control of that final portion of the hill.
You see the Pioneers quickly responding as they are not going to allow anyone to flank them, and they actually want this kill, and they'll get it. They may even be able to find 2 in the chaos. RushieZ at the respawn, but now this flash grenade banked off the wall. It connects on both players, allows RushieZ to move up a bit. Has the Pioneers a little shaky, but that's a solid shot from Hndles. 3v3. Ooh, a trade! A trade again! 1v1, and it's a win for the Pioneers, but here comes RushieZ at a disadvantage. He's cleaned up.
I like right now what I saw from the Pioneers the past 2 hills, something that the Pioneers have done that I've heard Jacob say 100 million times, and a couple of times I've gotten to play with some pro players, they've said the same thing. When you play control, if anybody is out of position, meaning if you've got 3 players playing to one side, and then you ever find a 2v1 on the opposite side of the map, or even if it's a 1v1, but that player is very far away from his teammates, right here, Acells, what is he doing on that side of the map? Quick 2v1 to get the kill, you got a 4v3 advantage now.
4v3 advantage, and you see it's gonna be RushieZ. They're gonna lose RushieZ 3v3. Drop shot over the top, it connects. The right hand comes through. They get the third as well. So Xysho wins this fight inside the juice. Some shots on INZEM, but he's playing for the spawn and he's set up now. These are big for RushieZ, big points that they're getting. Ooh, a chunk over the top for DeTox as he has pressure from his side. Staying composed. INZEM's able to get one. DeTox is calling for help. Pulls out the shotty. Can't get the shot that he wants, but he will stay aggressive and he gets another.
RushieZ going to try to rotate around here and get maybe that last kill to try to keep these last 9 points from going the way of the Pioneers. Bronny's going to leave him in there to think about it, and this will be 135 or so before he dies. 133 to 150 after that point. Final hill of the first rotation will be in that bottom left-hand corner of your map, and RushieZ is pushing 3 deep. Back A out from Xysho. He doesn't have the help over the top, and he's going to go
Good
down
flash.
very quickly.
Great aggressive play from Acells to get 2 kills. And now that allows his teammates. They got the flank down low, and another one comes down at the right time. RushieZ don't know which way to look, but they got each other's backs. A Lancer headshot. We don't see that too often. But RushieZ staying together for each other. They fight their way out of so many difficult situations, and they want more. They're looking for Xysho as he's looking for teammates, but he's got to do it by himself. For how long? Long enough.
I'm not done with you.
They get pushed out of the hill now. Still a gang of time left on that hill. You see them playing back. Bronny tries to play up into that face of that player. Won't be able to get that kill. 2 players inside of the info. 40 seconds still. Could get him to the 180, 190 area prior to going down. In this next hill, you see it looks like the side of the Pioneers are starting to rotate around the map, trying to get to a position to maybe take over that next portion after the respawn of that next hill.
Oh, he missed the most important one. Great turnaround from DeTox. Avexys, he gets taken out. And we're currently seeing a man advantage on the map here for the Pioneers. They got 15 seconds of time left before we reset our heals and go back to P1. DeTox has some pressure, has 2 flash. He will use one to escape. He tried it, but it was a third guy coming into the fight. Couldn't stop him. And Pioneers, they're doing a great job controlling the map, Colin.
Yeah, they're controlling the map right now. A down comes through inside of the juice. All of those players will have to come through the juice side of the map into that next hill as we have started the new rotation.
Now 72 points left. Drop shots in the hands of Xysho. He goes deep. Just misses. He was an inch off from that splash damage, at least getting 1. A kill comes through, and it's RushieZ with 2. And RushieZ gets taken out, but he'll get timed out as well. DeTox is going to play this corner tight as the intel he wants, but he'll cut back for a Lancer angle. Acells is the focus. He's out. Can't get cleaned up from that angle. Instead, revived by his teammates, and he's still in a fight. Pioneers not at a disadvantage just yet.
Ooh,
They're feeling
INZEM,
confident with the flashes.
That's right, INZEM. There you go, buddy. Do what you got to do, whatever it takes, baby. I'll take one shout out one time, whatever it takes. My man INZEM, he said, hey, look, throw all the flashes you want. I got the answer for it. Don't worry. I got the answer. I'll figure it out.
I got the positioning. I just tucked in the corner.
Up over the 200 marker for RushieZ. They're going to be well within their rights to continue this reign of terror as they're starting to set up over P2 here at the top side of the stairs. DeTox will be inside of the window. Looking for the extra angle. There's a 1v1 on the opposite side of the map. INZEM versus Hndles. Hndles needs to get this kill simply because that shock would be given up to this Lancer angle of INZEM.
Hndles gets a few extra shots in on INZEM as well. And but he's pushed back. He's pushed back down low. And it's going to be a setup here for the Pioneers. Of course, countered. Shock grenades in the hands of Xysho. Good flash from RushieZ, but a little bit too aggressive. His teammate saves him. No shock comes in just yet for no kill cleanups. Where's Xysho on the map? What number is he? 7. He's mid-map. Eyes taken out.
On the drop. He used the shot on the drop. He's trying
Was
to
it worth
the power weapon? It's not going to be worth. It's not in an area where it stops the pickup of it, and they lose the hill, and they're down by about 60 points or so. They lose the drop. They lose the hill. This is looking like it's going to map 5, Blaze.
It's looking like it right now. We've seen crazier things happen, Colin, and it's still the Pioneers in which we're talking about. And you just pulled a Jacob and Taylor from yesterday. I know what you're doing there. Okay? Pioneers, they may get it done, but we got to see it first. It starts here with Acells. He gets the kill that he needs. 30 points on the hill. RushieZ. We're going to start playing for next. DeTox drops as well. It's only 3 RushieZ members actually up on the map right now, so they'll be good for a hold, but this is a lot of time on hold.
I'm looking at the 200, 210 marker. They want to get it within 50 points or so. They want to get it to a point where it's not a winnable hill. It's not something that makes it 20 or 30 seconds. RushieZ just waiting in the wing yet again. That one player gets baited out. I believe Bronny got baited out seeing the other player inside of the cinema, and now RushieZ will be waiting for the rotation from the side of the Pioneers.
And RushieZ, he's going to play as far forward as his opponents will allow him to, but you have to have the presence of mind of when to escape. He didn't slowly get away. He says, I can get out now. I might as well. That's a solid shot. That's a cleanup. He did his job, and he gets 2. Avexys with a big play. His teammates, they'll drop back fully. Drop shots on Acells back. But it's RushieZ. They don't get no flinks up mid-map, and you really can't make it. You really can't get it done right away. But they need to use their numbers now sooner rather than later. So far, the Pioneers have played it well, just negating the time, being at a disadvantage, and they get the respawns at the nick of time because RushieZ was slowing that rotation. So Pioneers able to get into the hill, and it is 48 points remaining. It'll be pretty much a tie game once they get that.
You're playing for 28 points left on the hill. You're playing for the time on the hill down to 28. No matter what happens, you've got to play this for at least 10, 15 more seconds to ensure that RushieZ cannot win it on this hill. That's all you're doing right now. You can get into a winnable position for both of you. That new drop is going to spawn here momentarily. I believe Hndles is just holding down the hill to ensure that it does not be winnable for RushieZ. I think you take it to 250. Take it to 250 and then rotate out. If you give it up, if you give up those last 10 points to DeTox, God bless him.
At least he gets some time to rotate for a fight. That stun doesn't connect. That's a bad one. It allows Acells to get a kill in a situation he should not. DeTox finds one up top at Cinema. INZEM has the cross on middle. The pinch is there. RushieZ, they put him in a Bermuda Triangle and they'll eat him. They'll get the kills. They'll get the power weapons.
They got everything.
The recipe for success is here, but they got to close it out. Pioneers are lost.
Ooh, Acells tried to go into the bandstand to make this easy. The drop shot is in the hands of DeTox. He throws one out. Will get that first kill. They need just 15 seconds to go. You see Hndles trying to play back to play his life to try to wait for one more push. There's going to be one last gas for the Pioneers after the respawns. They're going to be on both sides of them now. It looks like they're going to come in from both angles. Here comes Acells. The shock is out. 250. 2 seconds left. RushieZ gets the kill. And then he tries to get in, but it's not in time. Pioneers lose map 4. RushieZ, they're going to send us into a map 5. They've tied it up 2-2. The fight is there. The fire is alive. And DeTox, he does them lifts, baby, like RushieZ has been lifted in these past 2 maps to perfect teamwork and pure perfection. Can they finish it off in checkout? Find out after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League. We have our first Map 5 of the day. We told you when the show started that every single series was going to get that much more exciting, so strap yourself in. And so far, our squads have delivered. It's RushieZ and the Pioneers about to head to checkout. And if you just came because you saw the tweets and your homie said, yo, you got to get in here and see this one, well, let's break down a story for him, Colin.
Right now, the Pioneers started off extraordinarily hot. They played time of possession. They played together in maps 1 and 2, especially on that execution tomb, and were able to come away with wins. Since then, RushieZ has found ways to find little flanks, find ways around the map to make sure that no matter what the Pioneers did, you could not find a team fight in your favor. Somebody was always getting flanked, somebody was always getting lancered, somebody was always getting snuck, and RushieZ has played picture perfect for 3 and 4 and have sent us to a tie-breaking Map 5.
How can you not be a fan of Gears Esports if you've been watching this series, okay? We are always on the edge of our seats, and, you know, when we go to checkout, we're going to see who check gonna actually clear. Because I don't know if everybody got enough bread to cash it out for 6 rounds. We'll see, though. RushieZ, they did a good job, you know, playing as a unit. But the one thing is I'm seeing over these last 2 maps, I'm just seeing a lot of confidence from the individual level from them, okay? They're not overthinking it, and they're playing some great gears.
They have played incredible gears for the last 2 maps. And I think, again, the thing that I harken back to time and time again is just how well players from RushieZ have just kind of rotated around each other, allowed each other to get shots for one another. Because when you're able to get those kinds of shots, when you're able to add that damage, it's a whole new level of confidence going into a fight. When you realize that you don't have to hit 2, maybe even 3 Nasher shots, you only got to hit it a half spread, maybe a full spread for a 1-shot chunk. You're feeling good, you're feeling great, you're ready to go.
You're feeling good, feeling great, ready to go. Ready to get with the boys, have a good time. Call up the homies and throw a party. Sure, okay? Throw a party after the victory comes through. It's Map 5. Chat, I know y'all been keeping close eyes on everyone who been switching their picks in there, okay? You ready to call them out, okay? I got a few names I see, all right? I see them. I'm gonna call y'all out live, okay? You know, rather if you was Pioneers and you flipping the RushieZ and they win, or if RushieZ flipping the Pioneers. I'm calling y'all out, but it's time to bring the call to action. All right? And no, I'm not talking about the Batman. I'm talking about DeTox. All right?
DeTox.
You better watch out for him.
My man DeTox out here. We're going to see what Bronny can do is he's going to get rotationally flashed. We see a ton of damage go out, but no kills coming through. I believe that leaves RushieZ with the incendiaries, though. Did they get them off rip? Yeah, INZEM has them. We're on board with INZEM, who has the incendiaries, but they have the weapons advantage in my book because they have the incendiaries. They could easily retake back the geographical advantage at any time with one good throw from those incendiaries.
One good throw from those nades can change the pace of this round, or just throw it more in favor of RushieZ. They'll back down Bronny. He does a great job dodging it. But do you want to back him up one more tier and try to use that to push in, right? Use his position in the open to be able to angle out these other players. It's definitely a thought for some of them, because as long as you can block off that angle, like at Gears of War's core, you know, before we had the objective game modes and it was just execution, you had to create numbers for yourself anywhere on the map, however you could do it. Just like how you see Xysho's moving around and force some players up. See what's shaking on the other side. They see who's peeking, who's shooting, who may be playing a little bit too aggressive, and who's playing passive. And all of these plays, all of these little bits of movement is where our 8 players are getting their intel for the perfect play.
And I think what you're going to see is this almost gets stalemated out because they know that they don't have the necessary advantage. They don't have the incendiaries. They don't have anything that they can push out for that long shot for right now. So this is going to stalemate all the way out. This is going to be one mad dash toward the hill. I think if you're INZEM, you got to be careful not to get baited to throw those incendiaries early.
Too soon, right? You need that on the edge of the hill. Whoa, big fella. What you twirling that thing with, folks? You know, like me and Colin just told you what you got to do.
I mean, throw both of them down into the lanes, trying to get it into a
go to the inside. 1v1 down low.
Oh, RushieZ wins it. RushieZ, but Pioneers are in the hill. Fight. Pioneers are in the hill.
They're in the hill, and that's all that matters as the Pioneers come out on top.
I mean, just a brilliant play. Again, I harken back. Blaze, I'm going to call it back, man. I want to take us back one chapter in the book. I believe the quote was, don't throw the incendiaries too early. I believe that was the quote. And then, you know, it happened, and it came back to bite him.
Came back to bite him. I know he wished he would have had that for the hill. You know, wouldn't matter. At least, like, that's what I was saying. I was like, the perfect place for those nades is just on the edge. It's on that outer ring of the hill, the quickest point from cover to contestation, and that was the failed lesson. Going into the next round, we'll see if he can get an A on test number 2. The down is there. Avexys has the snipe, and he'll definitely pass it. But what would you expect from a scholar who's been a part of this RushieZ crew since the beginning? The body shots and the damage is there, and we're all tied up 1-1.
Beautiful job by RushieZ. It's a good answer. I'm surprised they weren't more confident to take that kind of a fight in round 1, but they do in round 2, and they're successful in it, tying this thing up at 1-1. And then again, if you've got to be able to win those fights early, if you've got to be able to hit the Pioneers and knock them off balance, you got to do it earlier rather than later. If you let them set up and kind of outmaneuver you, outmanipulate you around the map, it's always going to be bad news bears.
We got both of our 1v1 players playing a little bit close. RushieZ tried to fake out Hndles, but he ain't buying it. RushieZ back in the fight for a split second more. Actually focused on Hndles a bit. The damage is there. INZEM wants more. He gets another down. Where's the pistol? It comes out. He's stunned. Snipes in the hands of Avexys, but RushieZ is there. And Bronny, he lost his head. 2-1, RushieZ.
Where is your head at, my man? Bronny right now is not on your shoulders, and RushieZ, they take it up 2-1. And this is what I thought that RushieZ was looking for. They needed to make it to this map 5 to have a chance in the series. They're here now, and they're taking full advantage of it.
Full advantage indeed. RushieZ, they're feeling the pace after those last 2 rounds, but will they cut in and play for nades, or do they go out wide and play for the snipe once again? It's Acells looking to take over. He feels his team needs a big play, but he gets flashed and backed up. This round slows down. Hndles has the nades. They go deep inside. RushieZ gets a headshot. The nades don't connect. And Avexys with another big kill. It's a 4v2.
Right now, RushieZ is showing why Checkout is a dominant map for them and why they keep getting it picked in their series. They love coming to this map, whether it's map 2 or 5. They know they can feel like they can get a win on it at any given moment in a series.
They feel super confident on it, and they have a when it comes down to the positions in which these players are playing, I feel like everybody's in their right spot. You got RushieZ off on an island, Avexys, you know, the team sniper playing out wide with the support, and then you got 2 of the most evasive players out there, 2 of the hardest players to hit in the middle with INZEM and DeTox, and the combo's working out for him. A quick pick for RushieZ on the nades. He doubles back. RushieZ stays in the back lane. There's a mark for Bronny. RushieZ, a short toss and a deep one. Bronny barely survives, and RushieZ will get a team kill. Pioneers looking to take this round as they get it down, and another sniper shot connected on. Acells gets 2.
You got to take advantage of those team kills, Blaze. Good on the Pioneers for taking advantage of RushieZ, what RushieZ gave them there. When they got that team kill, they had to come away with that just to try to get a round back on the board. They couldn't let the spiral output so much and allow themselves to be too far down going into the later portions of this round.
Yeah, they could not let that happen, and you know, RushieZ, they're trying to play for at least 1 or 2 downs while they're waiting for those nades to rotate back. And, you know, they're hoping that their teammate can get a kill, but those are some of the hardest nade tosses that you're ever going to get in any Gears of War, you know, map. And no one knows why. You got 2 lanes there, you got the back, but somehow they just never connect. The Flames will miss there towards the back lane, and it's Hndles with 1 more in his back pocket. But with his quick rotation, the frags not in play just yet, but Acells knows they will get played for, so he'll keep this advantage for his team with quick thinking.
See Acells here at that nade spawn area, trying to get shots on the RushieZ. There's a big angle out by RushieZ. Good little rotation by him. They get the down. Now they're going to get the kill on the other side. The Kansas City Pioneers pushing out toward that long shot. They cannot get that kill. Incendiary is too late. Too little, too late. Can't get him, but it's Xysho with the long shot in hand now. Can't get the shot onto Avexys either. Hndles, I'm taking a look at his screen. He does not have another incendiary to throw, so he can't even get that player on the platform off.
Nah, he can't. He's got to deal with that. He's got to force RushieZ to peek. But that nade is going to force him out wide. The blind fire If that connected, I would have made a noise, Colin, that you would have heard all the way in the mountains of Virginia.
I mean,
But it did not.
I'd have probably looked out my window and been like, what kind of bear cat is out there right now? My God in heaven. Woo! Come around.
You
Go ahead.
would have heard that thing echoing. But it didn't happen. You know, it was RushieZ. They ended the round cleanly. You know, great nades coming out from RushieZ, but if that incendiary hit, that would have went a different way. Possibly could have, but instead it's round number 7. DeTox, he's gonna stop for the Lancer angle. This is a strong defensive strat for RushieZ, and they get the nades. The trap is set, but will RushieZ connect? They throw deep for 1. The snipe is there. They force Xysho out wide. He's the focus. He does not go down, but the kills are there. He's pounced on the revive, the shotty, the double down. RushieZ on series point.
This is what RushieZ wanted, and they're being given exactly what they wanted in this map number 5, going up 5-2, needing just 1 round, and now the Pioneers have to play perfect. All that bravado in maps 1 and 2 will go to the wayside if they cannot finish it here. RushieZ is 1 round away from the reverse sweep over the Pioneers here in Pro League.
And now to be back-to-back victories for RushieZ within the last week. You gotta have a serious conversation about them and where the squad is going into the round. They're looking like they're gonna stay in the inside. They go wide a little bit. The Pioneers, they'll get those downs in the kill cleanups. A play being made by DeTox. He can't get the kill that he needs, and it's a 4v1. The Pioneers say, we ain't got nothing else to lose. We just gotta go full throttle.
Nothing else to lose, gotta go full throttle. They are right back at it.
Get warm. Get warm. We can see a comeback.
This match could go a long time from here on out. It's 5-3. And this has still got 3 possible rounds in it, so you better stay comfy in your seats for what could be an epic conclusion to this matchup. But it's all for naught if Kansas City Pioneers cannot answer back in the next round. They've got to find a way to string a couple of rounds together because RushieZ has continued to find ways to shut them down.
Someone has been quiet on this map, and we got to put the camera on them. It's Bronny. Okay, the front spine. We've seen him come out with big kills when his team needs it. The smoke's gonna hit. He's getting focused a little bit. There's the mark on RushieZ. Everyone should know that RushieZ is 4 over. Bronny gets the angle. Avexys can't snipe. The incendiaries are not in play just yet, but the nades connect. Sniper's out. Inside nade is not gonna hit. Incendiary's still there on the platform. It's a 3v3. RushieZ is staying proactive, playing for the kills out wide. Bronny taking some shots. INZEM will find a kill. Xysho's down. Bronny's caught in no man's land, and he's gonna get angled out off his left hand. What can he do? Nothing at all. It's RushieZ. They'll complete the comeback and make their fans proud. 3-2. RushieZ on top.
What an answer. What a 3-map string by the RushieZ players to come back.
Jumping jacks.
He can do it all day, baby. 10K damage done, 6 kills, 7 assists, only 4 deaths. A beautiful map by Avexys. But I mean, across the board, they had 2 different players make it into the 10K damage category. RushieZ, I believe, was 7-2-7 down there at 3rd place in the scoreline, but 7 kills, 2 deaths, 7 assists with 10K damage, if I saw that correctly. Just a beautiful series by RushieZ, Blaze.
Yeah, man. Beautiful series by RushieZ. Beautiful series. And, you know, Bronny leaves there before the death screen, can give it, but can't take it. You know, he said, I got to get up out of here. Gotta get up out of here. I can't be in this triangle no more longer. But RushieZ, man, those 3 maps right there that they got at the end, it was hard fought. And it was a complete turnaround from, we kind of saw it, a glimpse of it towards the end of control, but Pioneers were so dominant there on map number 2. They felt like they had this one in the bag, but RushieZ took it hill by hill, round by round.
Without a doubt, and that's what they had to do. They had to take it every single fight, one fight after the next, and try to come away with each one of them in their favor. It's just a beautiful thing to see when a team has that level of composure, and they're going to need that composure. They're going to need it going forward. You said it's 2 times in less than a week that RushieZ has beaten the Pioneers. They have to keep hold of what they have learned in these 2 wins and take that going forward, because right now, it's the team standing between them and a championship for a couple of their players. A first-time championship for 3 of their players. They've got to hold on to these wins and just make sure that they do not give up all the ground that they have gained on the Pioneers.
And you know what I think the special thing is about the 2 wins that RushieZ got this week against them, and they're good reps for if they were to run into them in a major in a grand final. Pioneers had a 1-map lead on them in E-Days, if I'm not mistaken. RushieZ wins at 3-1. Today, it's a 2-map lead over RushieZ, they win out 3-2. And you have to learn how to beat the Pioneers when they are up, okay? Not so much. I think RushieZ can do a good job closing out when they're up, but they need to learn how to kind of really get out of these trenches that the Pioneers be putting them in, and these were 2 good series against them.
That's an incredible series. Again, that Vasgar, that 5-1, that's a tone setter. That is a tone setter. That 5-1 gives them the confidence to go into that map 4 and win it. They play loose. They play around one another. Again, everybody from the Pioneers was flanked out throughout that entire map number 4. Nobody could feel comfortable in their angle. Nobody had a lane locked down for any more than 3 to 5 seconds. That is just all you can imagine, all you could want from RushieZ in those 2 maps. It goes into the checkout execution, and I mean, I saw that one on the docket. I wasn't going to turn my back on my pick. I still believe the Pioneers are the best team on the planet. If you put the money on the line, if it's in a grand finals, I'm still picking them. That ain't going to change. I ain't upset at my pick, but when I saw that checkout map 5, I said...
You saw it. You called it, Colin. You said, you was throwing up the 5. You said, hey, if we go there, it's RushieZ, right? And RushieZ showed us how good they are. Pioneers, they had to close it out in the 4, and they had their opportunities to complete what they had to do, but... You know, they couldn't get it done. You know, they couldn't get it done. But hey, great gears all around. And we still got more gears coming up as well. In the chat, yo, y'all like y'all just won a lottery, okay? You would have thought y'all just won some Ethereum out there the way that y'all
you know why? You know why?
Hey, that'd be a great idea, right? Oh, my fault. Sorry.
You know why they won this, don't you, RushieZ?
Why?
RushieZ won this because one of their biggest fans, BFL, one of the longtime Gears chatters, you see him in every week. Today is his birthday, and he is a RushieZ or Die fan. He had his RushieZ hat on all stream long. He did his birthday stream today. He had a RushieZ hat on. He said, RushieZ or Die, don't matter, my man, for his birthday. RushieZ pulls out a reverse sweep. What more could you ask for? He's got some cake from Bleach for Brains. He got cake from her. He gets a RushieZ whip. My man's living in cloud now. I want that life.
He living his best life right now. Best birthday ever. Happy birthday to you, homie, okay, from the Gears fam. That's going to do it for this series, but we got one more left. When we come back, coming up is Rebel versus Team Queso, a battle of Latin America. Let's get it. Vamos!